Yeah, hello guys. Thanks for joining the session, and we can start our session now. So today we are going to discuss about the Palo Alto Firewall, hardware firewall. So here we are going to discuss about especially on PA-220, which is available in our labs. Okay, so if you are going to our office, so you can see this PA-220 in our labs. Okay, so you can go ahead and practice your labs in using this PA-220. So what are the things that are available, and what you can see on the firewall whenever whenever you see the PA-220 firewall means. So first thing, okay, this is a front panel. Okay, so whatever we are seeing here. Okay, so this is all we can see the front panel of the PA-220 firewall. So other firewall also will look like same. Okay, but this PA-220 firewall will be having less number of ports when compared with other firewalls. So other firewalls will be having, okay, other ports, here you can see only RJ45 ports, right? So whenever you take PA 800 or PA3200 series or PA5200 series firewalls, you can also see the fiber ports. Okay, so additionally with RJ45, so you can also see the fiber ports where you have to use SFPs like 1G SFP or 10G SFPs. Okay, so you have to use SFPs to connect to those fiber ports. But everything looks okay. Everything looks same as we are seeing here on the PA-220. So if you see this PA-220 firewall, the first indication you can see here as an RJ, okay, Ethernet ports where you can connect your RJ45 cable here to your devices. Okay, whatever the devices that you want to connect. If you want to connect any switch, so you need to connect to this RJ45, or if you want to directly connected any laptop, okay, you can connect to this and you can work on it. Okay, so these RJ45 ports will support up to, okay, will support 10 Mbps, 100 Mbps, or up to 1000 Mbps support, up to 1000 Mbps speed it is going to support you accordingly. So whatever the speed that you want, you can configure. Okay, so there will be an, okay, in the interface configuration you can able to configure this. If you want to change, you can also change duplex or auto negotiation settings or speed settings. You can change in the interface level configuration. Okay, but maximum support, this ethernet port will support up to 100,000 mbps, which is 1 gig. Okay, and these are the data plane interface that we are going to use for. Okay, these are the 8 data plane interface where our rival, okay, our endpoints or switches are going to connect, and these 8 ports will carry our real traffic. Okay, real traffic is whatever the traffic coming from our private network, these 8 ports will take care of those things. Okay, and next one we will be having a management interface or management port. If you see here, so this is a management port where you can connect your uplink, okay, to this management port, and you can see if this management interface is set to DHCP client, so you need to have, okay, any uplink router to provide the IP on this management interface. Or otherwise, if you have any static IP also, you can configure statically. Okay, so you can use both ways. If you have up device, okay, uplink router or any device which has configured with DHCP, you can directly connected one interface from uplink router to this management interface, so that it will get an IP on management port, so that you can access GUI. Using this management interface, we can access GUI and CLI of the firewall. Okay, as we discussed in the interface type, right? This management port mostly used to access the firewall from the remote, okay, from the remote locations. You can access GUI or CLI on this particular management interface. Okay, and next one we will be having an console port, where these console port will be used for initial configurations. Okay, so whenever you buy a new firewall, and if you want to configure something on the firewall, so you don't have any management access or anything, you don't have, right? So you need to connect to the console to your laptop. Okay, you need to connect to your console to your laptop using an serial port, whether it is okay, com serial ports will be having multiple, like com1, com2, com port 3, like this. So once you connected this console port to your laptop will detect serial port of this, okay, firewall, and it will give you an available com port. Okay, and using that com port you need to connect from using an putty session or putty application, and you can use that putty application to log into the console of the firewall, so that you can make some initial configurations like configuring management IP, or configuring something, okay, interface level. Okay, if you want you can configure, but mostly whenever you buy a new firewall connecting to the console port, mainly you can configure management configuration, because so if you have a management interface configuration, you can log in without console. Okay, you can remove this console and use this management IP, so that we can log in via SSH or GUI. Okay, so this is a purpose of, okay, console port. And also we will be having one more console which will be using, okay, for the same purpose. You can use, okay, if you don't have ready, okay, everyone will be having RJ45 console cables. Okay, but if you don't have RJ45 ready, so if you have any type A cable, like in recent days we are switching to the type C cables, but before that we will be having an USB type A cables, right, for charging our mobiles. So that will also work as an console here. Okay, this will be an console port, micro USB type A console port, which will be using for same purpose. Okay, instead of RJ45, if you have this, you can use this a micro USB type A console. Okay, and you can connect that to your laptop, and you can use the same purpose of, okay, configuring any initial configurations on the firewall. Okay, and fifth one is an USB port. Okay, this USB port mostly used for bootstrapping of the firewall. Means this bootstrapping means whenever you having issues with login to the firewalls, or whenever you are unable to log in, and something you have to change on the configuration level, or if you want to upgrade the pan OS, or if you want to update the license on the firewall, you can use this USB port. Okay, you will be having a pen drive, right? So you can, okay, have that software version on the USB, or you can have the license on the USB, or you can have some configuration files on the USB, so that you can use this USB for that purpose. Okay, bootstrapping of the firewall means you can update the OS. Okay, if you don't have any image file in the firewall, or if you have image that will be available readily in the USB, you can use this USB port to connect to this firewall, and you can upgrade or you can update the license, anything. Okay, so that is the purpose of USB. And next we'll be having an LED status indicators. So here we'll be having 5 LED status indicators. So first one is an HA. Okay, so first one is an HA, mostly it will be used for high availability. Okay, so in the high availability, when you see this, okay, when you see this light glows in the green color, so mostly that firewall will be an active firewall. Okay, so I'm talking about active passive setup. In the HA we will be having two setups. Okay, active passive and active active. So I'm going to discuss about active passive only. Okay, whenever you see the color of this LED is green, okay, so that firewall will be in the active, and whenever the color is in yellow, that will be an passive firewall, which is an standby firewall. Okay, so there is LED indication. Okay, HA LED indication will tells that which one is active and which one is passive. So how can you identify which one is active and which one is passive? Means the active firewall will glow in green color and passive firewall will the LED of HA will glow in yellow. Okay, so that is the indication of active and passive here. Okay, so if HA is not configured and HA is not enabled, this LED will not glow. Okay, if in the firewalls, if HA is not configured, this LED will not glow. If HA is configured, and that will tells you if active, okay, the LED will glow in green color, and if it is passive, it will grow in, okay, it will glow in yellow color. Okay, so this is the purpose of, okay, high availability LED status indicator. Okay, and next one we will be having an stat LED. Okay, stat LED in the sense it is an status LED. Okay, it will tells you the status of the firewall, whether it is still rebooting. Okay, whenever you reboot the firewall, this status LED will be, okay, will go off, and if it is still rebooting, it will be showing yellow color. Okay, so it will be showing yellow while firewall is still rebooting. Okay, and once the reboot is completed and every process inside the firewall is in the running state, it will be in the green color. Means the firewall is running. Okay, whenever you see the status LED of the firewall is in green, okay, the firewall is running without any issues, and if it is shows as yellow color, so the firewall is rebooting. Okay, so once you see the status LED is green, then only you can able to log into the firewall. Whenever this status LED is in yellow color, you cannot log in into the firewall. Okay, means the firewall is still rebooting. So there may be an okay, inside in the backend there are multiple process running inside the firewall. So when all the process, okay, in the running state, then only the status LED will go into green, so that the firewall is, okay, running successfully without any issues. Okay, and here the next one we will be having alarm. Okay, alarm LED. So this alarm LED will tells you that the hardware components. Okay, so the status of hardware components. Okay, here what are the hardware components that we have? Means we'll be having power adapters. Okay, so we will be having firewall. Okay, and you can also see drives. Okay, and we can also see the temperature of the firewall. Okay, so whenever this alarm glows, okay, whenever this alarm glows into green color, there may be issue on the, maybe issue on the power adapter, or maybe issue on the firewall, entire firewall. Maybe something has, okay, something has changed on the firewall. Maybe any drive failures in the firewall, or maybe the temperature of the firewall is goes beyond the threshold levels. Okay, so you can whenever there is something happen on the hardware components of the firewall, this alarm will glow into, okay, this alarm will be in glow in an yellow color. Okay, this will glow in yellow color, so that something is happened on the these hardware components. Okay, and if there is no issues, so this alarm will not be glowing. Okay, if there is no issues any hardware components of the firewall, this alarm, okay, alarm LED will not glow. Okay, and next we'll be having a temperature alarm. So in the same way how we have discussed alarm LED, the temperature of the firewall goes beyond the threshold levels, so this temperature LED will be going off. Okay, and if the temperature is in the, okay, within the limit, this will be growing and this will be growing and green color. Okay, so whenever there is, okay, temperature within the limit. Okay, if the temperature is within the limit, it will be glowing in a green color, or otherwise if the temperature is goes beyond the threshold levels, it will be glowing yellow color, okay, so that you can identify there is, okay, temperature rising on the firewall, okay. And last one is an we will be having an power led. So if okay, if you see the firewall is turned on, this firewall, okay, this power led will be glowing in green color. If the firewall is, okay, switch, okay, if the firewall is if you turn off the firewall, so this power led will okay goes off. And if the firewall is running, then only you can see this power led in the green color, or otherwise you cannot see. Or this power led you cannot this power led will not glow, okay. And apart from that, apart from these, okay, 1 2 3 4 5, okay, 5 leds. So we'll also having two more leds where you can see the port leds, okay. These port leds you can see it as an okay, if the port is active and running, you can see these two, okay. The first led you can see the status of the port, and the second one you can see whether the traffic is flowing into that led or not. It will be blinking, okay, whenever this led is blinking, the traffic is flowing in the port, okay. And this led will tells you whether the that port is up or that port is administratively down, okay. These are the leds that you can see on the port. And apart from this, on back side of the firewall you can see the power led as well, okay. Power led means power adapter led. Whenever you connect the, okay, power adapter to this power one, this led will be glown, okay, glown in the green color, otherwise it will not glow, okay. So this is the front side of the firewall. And you will be having this is a back panel how it look likes. So here we'll be having power adapter 1, and we'll be having power adapter 2. These power adapters, okay, you can use in the redundancy form. So you, if you want, you can connect both at a time, okay. So if this power one goes down, or if there is any failure on this power one, power adapter 1, so this power adapter 2 will be having in the backup, so that you can use power adapter 2, okay. If both goes down, the firewall will be going into a down, okay, shutdown state. So you will be having two power adapters in a redundancy manner, okay. And apart from okay, power adapters, you will be having a ground stud, okay, where you can connect this ground stud to your okay ground for earthing purpose, okay. If you have any static power on the firewall, to avoid okay, whenever someone touches the firewall, so to avoid, okay, getting shock to that person, we will be having a ground stud. So where you can connect this, okay, you can take one wire, connect to this ground stud, and other side you have to connect that to the earth, okay. So that if there is any static, okay, electricity on this firewall, it avoids, okay, shock, okay, whenever the someone touches this firewall, they may avoid, okay, getting shock on for that person, okay. So this is the front end and back panel of the PA-220. So apart from this, okay, if you see any other firewalls apart from PA-220, these power adapters will get changed, okay. So like here we'll be having some pin type power adapters, but in most of the firewalls, this, okay, these pin type adapters you cannot see. Sorry, you can see an pluggable okay, pluggable power adapters, like how it will be means, I will show you one firewall which is PA-3220. You can take the back panel of this firewall, so that you can see here, okay. And apart from this, you can see on these firewalls you can see the fan trace as well, okay. So let me copy this image, I'll paste it here. Oh, sorry.
Are we using this model PA220?
Ah, yes, we are using.
Okay. But it's look like a old version, right? Power adapter.
Old version since not as much as old. These power adapters are available in the market. That's
Okay.
okay. We can say it as an old one, but still we are using it.
Yeah.
Okay, it depends on the size of the enterprise.
That's it. So if they are using PA-220 firewall, still most of the customers are using PA-220. So these power adapters are available still. So if they have any issues, they will raise they will raise the RMA for this power adapter, so that Palo Alto will provide. No issues with it. So if you see here on the other firewalls, you can see, okay, these are the, okay, some other type of power adapters you can see. So this will be available, this also available in the market. So you can see the difference between the power adapter of PA-220 and other firewalls. Okay, and here we will be having fan trace. Okay, so this fan trace is mostly used for cooling purpose of the firewalls, because these are the high-end devices which will be, okay, taking the more traffic. Sometimes they may get heat. So to cooling the, okay, inside components of the firewall, this will be, whenever temperature grows high, these fans will automatically run inside the firewall, so that the temperature will get cool. Okay, and but here we'll be not having the fan trace here. Okay, because this will be carrying only a less traffic, which, okay, where the fan trace are not required on the PA-225. Okay, so this is about the back panel and front panel of the PA-220 firewall. So let me show you the, okay, let me show you the firewall which I have right now. So let me stop sharing my screen, and I will turn on my video for some time. Okay, to show you the how the firewall look like. Are you able to see me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
see here, this is the PA-220 firewall that I have. So if you see here, how we have seen in the picture, it will also, it will be same look like, it will just something like an sweet box only. Okay, it will be we can handle with our hands also. Okay, so it will not just an weight of, okay, 1 kg as well. It will not that, okay, it will weight 1 kg only, as I see here. Okay, so see here, we'll be having 8 Ethernet ports. Okay, RJ45 ports, and we'll be having management interface and console port. And after that you can see one more console which will be an micro USB. And after that we will be having USB port. And if you see here, the LEDs are glowing. Okay, so from this side, okay, from right side to left side, so the first one is an HA interface which is not glowing. Okay, so if I close this, okay, the first one is an HA interface. So my firewall is not configured with HA right now, so it is not glowing right now. Okay, so if we have configured HA, and if this firewall is acting as an active, so this will be glowing as a green color. Okay, and if other firewall is in passive, so it will grow in yellow color. Okay, this is the HA interface. Okay, the second one we will be having in status interface. Okay, sorry, status LED, where the firewall is running, right? As I connected the, okay, I connected the power supply cable backside. So if I show you, I will show you later the back panel. Okay, so the I connected power supply cable, so the firewall is running successfully. So it will be in the status LED is in the green color. Okay, if it is rebooting, so it will be going into an, okay, for some time it will be turned off. Okay, after some time it will be turning into an yellow color. Okay, and after that we will be having an alarm LED. Okay, the third one is an alarm LED, where it will indicates the, if any hardware components are, okay, not working properly, or if the hardware component is, okay, is functioning not well, so it will be, the alarm LED will glow. Okay, So if any power adapter failure or driver failure and also the firewall failures, and if the temperature goes high, the alarm LED will be okay glown here. And after that you can see, after this you can see the temperature LED, where the temperature okay is under control within the limits of the firewall, so it is going as an green. Okay, otherwise it will be okay if the temperature is goes beyond the threshold limit, it will be turns into yellow. Okay, and after that the last one is an yellow. Okay, is an power LED. Once you connect the power cable, so once you connect the power cable and after it okay running successfully, so this power LED will be glow into green color, or otherwise this power LED, if the firewall is make, if you make the firewall shutdown, this power LED will be okay turned off. Okay, so this is a PA-220 firewall that we have. So if you go in our office and if you see the okay if you see this PA-220 is available, so you can go ahead and practice. Okay, so as of now I haven't connected any ports, so I will connect console cable and I will show you how to log in, and also how can we connect this management interface and how can we configure management interface also I will show you here. So this is the back panel. Okay, so are you able to see the all everything here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any questions here on front panel, so how it will be look like, or any questions here?
Based on the firewall, it will increase, right? The ports will increase.
Based upon the firewall and based upon the requirement, you can see more. Okay, on other firewall models, you can see the fiber ports as well, and also RJ45 also they are going to increase. Now we will be having only 8 ports here on this PA-220. If you see other firewalls, you can see 12 or 24 RJ45 and rest. Okay, you can see our 6 or 12 fiber ports, and you can see the high availability ports as well, dedicated HA interfaces. Here in this firewall you cannot see the HA interface, so I will show you in other okay firewall how the HA interfaces look like. And okay, besides this management and console, you can see the dedicated HA1 and HA2 interface. Okay, but here we don't have HA interfaces, we have to use this RJ45 data plane interface as an HA interface. Okay, so we can use any free interfaces here to configure HA, so that we can discuss in the high availability class. Okay, this is a front panel as it look like, and if you see the back panel, this is how back panel look like. Okay, so here I have connected only one power adapter because I have only one. So if this goes down or if this is not functioning well, I will use this. Okay, otherwise I will use this one, and you can see the LED is glowing. Okay, this is the power adapter one. Okay, and the power LED of okay power adapter one is glowing. And if I connect this, okay, here okay here it will be having one more LED. So I think it is barely seeing, but here we will be having like this. So here we will be having one more LED. If I connect here, okay, and this LED will glow. Okay, and this one mostly using for ground. Okay, ground, this will be an ground stud. You can unscrew and you can connect any copper wire of here, and other side copper wire you need to do an earthing. Okay, for earthing purpose here. Okay, this is how the firewall look like. Okay, any questions here?
No questions.
Okay, so if no questions, we can go ahead and uh, connect this console cable, and I will show you how to log in. Okay, so I will be having an console cable. Okay, so I will
Sir,
be
at
having
RJ45 jack, when we connect RJ45 jack, we will
Mhm.
be getting two lights. One is for,
Okay, you are asking about here, right, on the port.
yes, sir.
So here we will be having two LEDs on each port. Okay, one
Okay,
LED, it will tells you the status of the port. Okay, whether it is up or down. Okay, and
okay,
other LED, it will be blinking whenever there is traffic flowing through the internet. Okay, if something
okay,
the traffic flowing over the internet, the next LED, okay, the other LED of the port will be in the blinking. Okay, that means the traffic is flowing through the interface.
irrespective of color, either it may be an yellow color or green
Mostly it
color
will
or
be going to an green only. There will be a no yellow, so it will be in green only.
okay.
Yeah. So for console connection, I will be using this. Okay. So one side is an RJ45, and one side is I have an USB because I will be having a support on my laptop. Okay. Using this USB only. I don't have HDMI support. But in other laptops, okay, in old laptops you cannot see this USB support. Maybe that will be having an some okay VG or HDMI support. So I have this support, so that's why I bought this console cable. Okay, maybe it is an 1 meter long. Okay, so one side of this console cable I am connecting to the firewall, and this I am connected to my laptop. Okay, so let me connect and show you. So I'm connecting to my okay, I connected one side to my laptop, and other side I'm going to connect to the console. Okay, so I connected to the console port. Okay, so one side I connected to the console port of the firewall. This console port we don't have any LEDs. Okay, so that's why it is not glowing into anything here, so we don't have any LEDs. And other side I have connected to my laptop. So how can we detect this firewall once you connect to the console means? So let me share my screen once again. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, here once you connect the okay console cable to your laptop, so you can just type device manager. Okay, this is a device manager where you will be okay see all the device related information. So here once you connect, okay, this ports, okay, com and lpt will be pop up. Okay, and inside these ports if you drop down you can see the USB serial port with com port number. Okay, this is my com port number which is connected to my serial port on my laptop. Okay, using this com port I am going to log into the firewall. Okay, so I will open putty here. So might be this session is, so I'll take the new session. So here what you have to do is you have to okay connection type. Okay, under the connections you have to select the serial port. Okay, and under the serial line, so you need to mention what is the com port that your laptop has detected. So here my laptop has detected as com port 3, so I am using the same. Okay, I am using the com port 3, and the speed should be 9600. Okay, and the speed should be 9600. Then you can just click on open. Your firewall will be open. Okay, so see here, so I have already okay rebooted the firewall instance. I have connected for a long time, so it is not going to end booting, so it will directly get the login prompt. Okay, on any firewall, on firewall instance, on any Palo Alto firewall, the login credential, default login credentials is username is admin, password is also admin. Okay, it will be getting into your login to your firewall. Okay, this is the firewall login. I have entered into the firewall with admin credentials. Okay, so this is how you can log into the console, and this is how okay provide okay you can provide username and password. Okay, on any firewall, not only this firewall, the default credentials of the Palo Alto firewalls are username is admin and password is also admin. Okay, so this everyone knows. So I'm also letting you know the default credentials of the firewall is admin. Okay, whenever you are using PAVM firewalls in your lab as well, you have to use the same admin only. Okay, so if you want to know, okay, here we have entered into the firewall. And next thing, if you want to know the okay if anything configured in this firewall, or if okay if management interface is already configured or not, you can use okay show running. Mm, Yeah, so see here we can make use of okay, show interface management. So for the, sorry, I think this console is not aligned well, so let me, so see here, so if you want to know the if anything is configured on the management interface, or if management interface is enabled or not, you can make use of the command called show interface management to check the management configuration. So see here as okay, let me go through here once. So if you see here, I haven't configured, okay, I haven't connected anything on the management port, okay. So but something is seeing on our management interface means, so this is already I have configured in the last lab, so it will be showing like this. But okay, let me connect once again. So I have an management connection in my, okay, for my firewall, so that I can make use of that, okay. So how I am going to connect means, so let me show you. So here I have, okay, another RJ45 cable. So if you see here, I have an another RJ45 cable. So let me stop sharing for some time, okay. So if you see here, I have another RJ45 cable, and other side of this cable I connected to my, okay, home Wi-Fi router, so that I will get an okay, that for that router we have already an okay, default DHCP server. So what I'm going to do is, I have already connected other end of this other end of this cable to that my home router. So I am now going to connect this, okay, this side to my firewall management interface, okay. So let me connect this firewall management interface. So once it is connected, so if you see here, the LED is glowing here, okay. So one side LED, I think this is not sure. So one side, oh, so one side LED is blinking, and other side LED is stable, means this interface is up, okay, and this LED shows the interface is up, and this side the LED is, okay, is glowing, means some traffic is flowing over the management interface, okay. So got it right. So it will be one side is blinking and other side is stable, okay, means this port is up, and it is some traffic is flowing through the management interface, okay. So let me check what is the IP that we got on the management interface, okay. So let me share my screen. So see here, before we'll be having the IP 192.168.1.17, but here what is the type that we have, but this alignment is not good. Okay, see here we have an IP which is 192.168.1.17, which is okay, we have configured before. Let me log in with that IP. I will take a new session, and I am going to use the same 192.168.1.17 using an SSH, if I am able to log in or not. I think we got it. Admin, admin. Yeah, I think I got the same IP which I have got before as well. So if you see here, this will be an good. So if we want to show interface management, so we'll be having an same IP, okay, we'll be having an same IP. But whenever you buy a firewall, okay, you will be having an IP of 192.168.1.1, okay. So whenever you buy a new firewall, so inside the firewall you will be having an IP, okay, which is 192.168.1.1, okay. This will be a default IP, and which is a subnet, 255.255.255.0. okay, so this is a subnet that we will be having. Okay, so if you want to connect, you can connect this to your direct management port of this firewall to your laptop as well, and your laptop has to be in this same subnet so that you can use a management access. Okay, otherwise, so what you have to do is you have to log into the console. Okay, you have to log into the console how we have logged in. So this is a console. So from the console, what you have to do is you have to enable the DHCP client on the management interface. Okay, how you can enable DHCP client on the management interface means, so I think I will log into the management GUI. So I want to know, let me see here only. So I want to know whether it is an DSCP or we are getting an is this an statically configured or DSCP? I want to know about that. So link status. Maybe it is not showing here. Maybe it is configured with 192.168.1.17. okay, if you want to log into the firewall using an management interface from the GUI, so you have to use an HTTPS and the management interface IP. So here I got an management interface IP as an 192.168.1.17 because it is already configured, but I will show you how it will be. So I'm going to log in here. So you'll get your connection is not private, so you have to proceed. So this is how the firewall looks like. So you, if you log into your Windows, or if you log into your VM firewalls also, it will be show the same. So you have to use the same credentials. Okay, so whatever you have used in the CLI, the same credentials you have to use, admin. So just click on login. So this is how the firewall, okay, once you log into the firewall, this is how the firewall looks like, and this is some general information that we have. So before that, I need to verify whether this is configured with static or DSCP. So it is configured static, so that is the reason it is not showing dynamic as here. So basically whenever you whenever you get a new firewall, so you will be getting an IP 192.168.1.1 with subnet 255.255.255.0. So then if you want to, you have an uplink router, and if you want to convert this, if you want to get IP address on this management interface through DSCP, so what you have to do is from the console, so you have to do, because we have before we have to log into the firewall using a console only, right? So from the console you have to you need to set the management interface DHCP client. How can we set means, use the command set, I think let me, sorry, so use the command set device config, right?
You have to go to the configuration mode, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, we need to go into a configuration mode, and from the configuration mode you have to use set device config system. Okay, and you have to use DHCP, system type DHCP client. Okay, so system type DHCP client, and then you need to accept DHCP domain, yes. Okay, and then accept DHCP hostname, yes, and send client ID, yes, and also send client hostname, yes. Okay, you need to provide this big command, to enable DHCP, okay, client on your management interface. Okay, so once you enter this command, okay, it will be okay going to set DHCP client, but you need to do and commit. Okay, so from same configuration mode, so you need to do and commit. Okay, what this commit will do means, commit will save your changes, whatever the changes that you have made on the firewall. If you want to make the changes into the running configuration, you have to save the configuration, how you are saying how you are saving the configuration in the routers and switches. Okay, you need to do the same thing. So once you save the configuration, then only the configuration will take effect. Otherwise, in the Palo Alto firewall, if you have make changes and you are not doing a commit, those changes will not take any effect on the firewall. Okay, once you click on commit, okay, once you type commit and click on enter, so it will be going to an okay commit job. Okay, and once the commit is completed, then you will get an okay, once you connect the cable to your management interface of the firewall, so you can see the IP address, okay, on the management interface, how we have seen show interface management. So that IP address you can see here. Okay, so sorry, this is a command that we have to use. And once this is done, so you have to do and commit. So in the same configuration mode, you have to do and commit, so that this configuration will take effect. Okay, otherwise the configuration which we have made, that will not take effect. So once the configuration okay successfully complete, so it is showing as 99%. Now the 100%, once the 100% is completed, so you can just exit from configuration mode, use the same command, show interface management. So I got an same IP because it has already add okay, it was already, it provided an IP already, right? So it will get automatically this IP only. So using this IP, okay, whatever the IP that you are seeing here on the management interface, use this IP to log into your firewall via CLI or GUI. Okay, CLI, you can log into your putty session, or if you are using any other app or application to log into the CLI, you can use the same thing using an SSH port 22. You can log in, and also you can log in via web GUI using HTTPS. Okay, so this HTTPS, once you okay, once you configured this management interface as an uh, this interface as an DHCP client, so already in this management interface, these services are already by default will be enabled. Okay, so HTTPS service and SSH service will always be enabled, because if you want to get management okay access to your firewall, these services should be enabled by default. Otherwise the firewall okay, if you're not seeing this SSH and if you're not seeing HTTPS of this firewall enabled, you cannot log in. Okay, once you enable with a DHCP client, so these configurations will all okay, those services will always be enabled by default on any Palo Alto firewall. Okay, because if you want to log into the SSH of the firewall, this service has to be enabled, and if you want to log into the GUI of the firewall, you this HTTPS service has to be enabled. Okay, so then only you can get an access to the firewall, otherwise you cannot get access. Okay, so this is how you can configure okay, you can enable management interface, and you can log into the firewall. Okay, this is a basic process that you need to do once you have a new firewall. Okay, and if you are already having a firewall and you will be having an IP on your management interface, so you can use that IP to log into the firewall, and to okay log into the firewall via GUI and SSH. Okay, mostly we are going to use okay GI only, most part of this course we are going to use okay, HTTPS of this firewall with IP address. So that we are going to use mostly GUI part. So we are going to use less part of CLI only. Only some troubleshooting part we are using CLI, but most of the things we are using a GUI in the Palo Alto firewall, because everything will be available in the GUI. You no need to remember any commands to configure anything on the firewall, only the initial configuration only. Okay, initial configuration in sense this interface configuration, management interface configuration you need to configure. Once the interface configuration completes, we can use that management interface to log into the GUI, web GUI using HTTPS, so that you can log into the firewall. Okay, once you log into the firewall, all general information you can see here, and system resources, how the system resources are utilizing, and ACC tab, monitor tab, where you can see all the logs in the firewall, policies where you can configure your security, NAT policies and other policies. You will be having an objects, okay, network tab where you can configure all L3 related information, device tab, okay, this is related to a firewall device configurations. Okay, so this is how the firewall looks like. Okay, and as we have discussed, right, so this firewall will be having two planes, management plane and data plane. So you can see the management plane CPU utilization and data plane CPU utilization, and on this firewall it is supporting 65,534 sessions. Okay, okay, whenever some traffic receive on the firewall, it will take, okay, from this, okay, 65,534 is free session, but zero is used right now because we haven't connected any, okay, we haven't connected any data plane interfaces, right? So nothing is flowing, nothing real traffic is flowing, only the management traffic. So that it is showing as 9%, but data plane is also showing 1%, but that should not be. And once you connect the any of the data plane interface, okay, once you configure everything on this interface, okay, this data plane, the traffic will be flowing, and this data plane CPU will also exceeds. Okay, and you can see the increment in the CPU utilization, and also it will be using an sessions from this 65,534 sessions. Okay, and if you want to see the general information of the device, you can see here what is the device name, what is the management IP, and subnet mask, default gateway. Okay, and what is the model, what is the software version that is running. Okay, all the general information you can see here. Okay, so and also you can also configure management interface as in statically as well, you can configure. Okay, so if you want to do an static configuration, you can do from both management, okay, both from the GI and also from the CLI. Okay, so I will show you that one as well. Okay, how to configure management IP on statically on management interface. Okay, so you have to do the same thing. Okay, so just enter into the configuration mode. Okay, use the same command, set device config system type. Here you have to use a static. Okay, once you click on static, is okay, so you need to enter. So it is going to use an static IP. So we need to define the static IP now. Set device config system. I think it will not be visible in the video. Let me minimize this. So this is a set device config system type static, as we are defining this management interface, as we are going to configure static IP. And next you need to define the static IP here. Okay, so use the same set device config system. Okay, then you need to use an IP address, and you need to mention what is the static IP that you want to configure. So what I am doing is I am using the same IP configuration here. Okay, whatever the IPs that we got from the DHCP server, I am going to configure same IP here. Okay, so let me use the same IP. So IP address, which is 192.168.1.17. Okay, and next net mask, which is 255.255.255.0, and default gateway, you need to mention what is the default gateway here, 192.168.1.1. Okay, 192.168.1.1. Okay, so this is how you can configure static IP on the device. Okay, and once you click on enter, so we need to do an commit. Okay, click, okay, type commit, click on enter, and we can okay, we are configuring static IP on the firewall. So once that is done, you can see the static configuration here, okay, on the management. So it is already went into a static mode. So if you see here, before it is an DSCP, now you are seeing here as a static now. Okay, so it has to be okay. Once it completes, you can also see from the CLI as well. Okay, this is how we are configuring IP, okay, statically on the, sorry, I think you can run the following command. Okay, so you can use the command run show jobs ID, and ID is 3. So it will be showing the commit action is pending at 75%. So this commit process we can learn, okay, briefly in the commit class. We'll be having an okay class for commit. Okay, so I will tell you what is the purpose of this command and how can, what things we need to verify. Now the commit is completed and status is finished, result is okay. Then so the interface configuration you can see here, this as a static now. Okay, this is how you can configure IP address statically on the firewall. Okay, so show interface management, so you can see the same IP, but this is how you can configure static IP address. Okay, static IP.
In real time, they will use user interface or command prompts.
Mostly user interface, but by default instance, before configuring anything, they will use a CLA only to configure. But once they have configured static IP, once they have IP address on the management interface, we are going to use GI only. Mostly we are going to use GI.
Graphical user interface only.
Yes.
Yeah. Only for the ARC table and IP address configuration, CLI will be used.
ARP table, yeah, CLI will be used, and IP address configuration also we can use GI, but any related, okay, anything related to troubleshooting that we cannot see in the GI, we can use the CLI. Okay, there are some troubleshooting that we cannot see. Okay, something that we cannot see in the GI, that we can use the CLI, but most
Okay.
probably, most part we can work on the GI only.
Okay.
Yeah.
In real time scenarios, we'll be having the HCP servers, right?
Ah,
When we
yes.
connect any system, it will automatically assign IP address to the
Mm,
particular device.
yeah, the particular device will be assigned, but you need to, okay, in Palo Alto Firewall you need to
We
set
need to run
this.
a command,
We
so it
need
will
to run this.
automatically grab the.
Yeah, the
Based on that,
management
we can
interface. Yeah, go ahead.
log in into GUI.
This man whenever you set this type as DSCP client, your management interface will act as a DSCP client, and that will get an IP address from the server, so that you can use that IP to log in, or either it is an SSH or either it is an HTTPS. You can log in and you can work on the firewall.
Mostly, we'll use static or dynamic IP addresses.
Mostly in real time, mostly they are using a static IP only. They are taking okay, they are taking IP from the DHCP server, and maybe they are binding this IP in the DHCP server with the MAC address of the firewall. Okay,
Okay.
and they are using static IP. So here they will be having an okay MAC address as well. This is a management MAC, and what they are going to do means they are going to bind this MAC address with this IP, so that it will be always be available for this for this firewall, and more they are going to configure a static IP on the management interface, the same IP they are getting from the DHCP server, because they don't want to lose their management access, right? Once if sometimes the firewall will go into an uh, some unrecovered situation, maybe if they are doing some upgrades or if they are doing some activity, maybe sometimes the firewall go into an unrecovered situation. In that case, what they are going to do, they are going to doing an factory reset of the firewall. Okay, means if you are doing factory reset of the firewall, every configuration in the firewall you can lose. Okay, and you can also lose the management IP configuration as well. In that case, once again they need to log into the console, and they are already known the management IP, right? So they will be set this management IP statically on the firewall, and they are going to log into this firewall again. So most
But
probably,
however, we'll be having backup firewalls, right?
backup firewall they will
That
be having,
is-
but if this firewall goes down, so they or this firewall went into an unresponsive state, they need to bring back this firewall, right? Maybe if they have backup firewall also, if that backup firewall also goes down in some time, they will be having vulnerable to their network, right? So
that is worst scenario.
that is worst scenario, but we need to bring up this
Yeah.
as soon as possible. We need to bring up this to have redundancy in your network, so that for that reason we need to go with the factory reset, and whatever the IP that we have before, so we are going to configure that IP statically on the firewall.
Can we take the backup for a complete firewall and we can store somewhere else, right?
Yes. Before that, we need to take the backup. So what they are doing is every day they are making an schedule to
Schedule backup.
schedule backup. So here we'll be having an backup. So they are doing configuration schedule backup. Okay, they will taking they will be having in configuration schedules. So for every day or every week, maybe mostly every day they will take. So so once the firewall goes any time any day, so they will be using that before day configuration
Mhm.
backup, and they will import from here once they configured IP. Once after that log into the firewall, they will import the
Previous.
previous configuration, and they will load that configuration into the firewall.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is all about the today's session. So if you have any questions, so one thing also, if this if this firewall goes down, or if this firewall didn't recovered after the factory reset, so we need to raise RMA with the Palo Alto with the help of Palo Alto TAC engineer. So they will raise an RMA for this firewall with the serial number. So whatever the serial number that we have, so we need to update the serial number of the firewall, so that they will do an RMA. RMA means they will be not going to give a new firewall. There will be a refurbished firewall will be there. So they will give an refurbished firewall, and we can get an already used firewall only, but that will be in the working condition. So if that firewall is also not okay if the firewall is also not working, then we can raise an RMA for the new firewall. So that will be taken care by the Palo Alto TAC engineers, where they are contacting Palo Alto RMA team. So they will get an firewall. They will be going to ship that to your location. Okay. So any questions? That's all for today's session. If you have any questions, you can just let me know.
What is the cost of P220 firewall?
I
PA22,
think maybe it will be 1 lakh or 2 lakhs. That's it. I don't know.
which you are holding now. That is a
Yeah.
one.
Yes, yes. It will be a 1 lakh or 2 lakh. The new firewall.
Okay. What
But
will I think it will be 10 years or 20 years warranty on it, right?
yes, you'll be having a 10 or 15 years warranty. So till that time, they will be providing an okay.
Service.
Yeah. And also this firewalls also depends on the PAN-OS versions.
Okay.
The end of life, okay, these firewalls will support each and every PAN-OS version, but that firewalls, okay, will also have some limitations where each firewall is going to support, okay, certain PAN-OS versions only. That we can discuss in the upgradation process. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you help us installing the Palo Alto in GNS3?
Yeah. Once this, okay, session completes, we'll connect separately. So
Yeah. Good.
any questions on today's session?
No.
Others, do you have any
What about the
questions?
data centers? What will be the size of firewall in data centers?
Data centers, mostly you can see the, okay, 5200 or 5200 series firewalls. That will be like, this is a small firewall, but that will be in some, okay, big size firewalls. Like how you will be having a routers, right? So 9200
Mhm.
routers, that this much of big that will be having. So because there will be having more number of ports, and also they will be having okay, fan trace in back panel, so that will be a very big size. You can see that, okay, if you see here in the back panel, it will be an some big size only.
Yeah.
They will be having, okay, here we will be having an 2 to 3 fan trays, but they will be having 4 fan trays. Some firewall
Oh.
will be having 4 fan trays as well.
Even it will contain hard disk, right?
Yes.
Can store the data.
Yes, it will be having hard disk. Okay, you will be having a system drive where this firewall will be having 240 G
240 GB.
SSDs to store the logs and system files.
We can see here on the
Yeah,
power strip. Yeah.
yeah. This is first one. This is an hard
Disk.
SSDs. Some firewalls like 3200 and 5200 will be having hard disks to store the logs, but in PA-220 you can store inside the firewall only. This will not, PA-220 will not having any hard disk. So because they will be having only less logs, they will handling less, they will be directly going to log in the management server only. Any questions for today?
No questions from my end.
Yeah, okay. Others, do you have any questions? Yes, guys, any questions? Yeah, okay, I will take it as no. Okay, thanks guys, thanks for joining today's session. I hope you have learned something on the firewall. So I think tomorrow is Saturday and Sunday, right? Tomorrow and day after tomorrow will be not having any class. So whoever not completed the lab setup, so please try to complete. And on Monday we are going to do our first lab, and I will show you how to do that on the EVNG, okay, or GNS3 as well. Whoever using GNS3, that will be easy for you. But on the EVNG, I need to show you how to take devices and how to log in and how to manage those from the EVNG on Monday. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining. And whoever having the doubts in the lab, so you can stay here. Others, you can drop off. Okay. I'm just going to stop recording for now.